everyone, and welcome to the admissions webinar. So you're very welcome today joining our UCD Michael Smurfit Graduate Business School virtual event. So just before we begin, I'll just introduce ourselves. So my name is Laura. I'm an MSc Admissions Manager at the school, and I'm also joined by my colleague Richard Murphy, who's also admissions school.
Hi there.
So just in our webinar today, we'll just tell you just a little bit about the business school, and we'll talk about careers and graduate employability, and we'll then talk through the MSc programs that are available to apply for. We'll then talk you through the application process and give you some tips about applying. We'll then hold a Q&A at the end of the webinar. And also we'll just tell you a little bit about our upcoming virtual MBA event as well. So throughout the webinar, if you have any questions at all, you can post them in the Q&A and we'll answer them live at the end of the presentation. So just a little bit about the business school. So we're Ireland's leading and top ranked business school. We're part of the University College Dublin. Our campus is about 15 minutes away from the main UCD campus, and we're located in Dublin in Ireland. We do have a wide range of master programs available at the school to study, which are constantly ranked within the Financial Times and the Economist Top 100. At the school, there is over 20 MSc programs. So our programs are full-time, and there is an option on some of our programs to take them part-time over 2 years as well. We do have a global alumni network of over 100,000 alumni. And at Smurfit, we do understand that careers and job opportunities after the program is very of interest to students. So at Smurfit, we do have a dedicated careers team to both our MSc and MBA students, and they provide career advice in terms of interview, CV preparation, and they also hold career events throughout the year as well. And then just a little bit as well about UCD. So the University College Dublin is part of the top 1% of colleges and universities worldwide. At Smurfit, we do hold the Triple Crown accreditation, which means that our programs are very highly ranked. They're recognised internationally. The school would be recognised internationally as well. So not just in Ireland, the school is recognised globally. And because of all these accreditations and rankings of our programs and our school, we are Ireland's leading business school. And then just looking at the rankings as well of some of our programs. So our MSc programs are constantly ranked within the Financial Times, the Economist top 50 rankings. So one of our programs, our STEMS International Management Program, that would be ranked 3rd in the world. And we also have a range of programs all in the top 50 from supply chain, business analytics, marketing, finance, and management as well. And then just in terms of UCD as a graduate employability, for the last 5 years, UCD is ranked #1 in terms of graduate employability. And as I said, at Smurfit, we do have a dedicated careers team and that work with our students in terms of job prospects, applying for jobs as well. And there are other programs additionally to your MSc program that you can take as a student in Smurfit. So we have our Global Leadership Program, which is a program that looks at developing your leadership skills and skills that employers are looking for, recruiting, graduates from our school as well. So there is a lot of focus in Smurfit on careers and job prospects from your master program as well. So then just looking at our MSc program. So as I said, there is a wide range of programs at the school from accounting, management, finance, marketing. So there is a lot of programs that you can apply for at the school. If you're not really too sure of what MSc program you'd like to study, this is a good starting point. So it's just an idea of the programs that we have, and then looking at what you've studied in your undergraduate degree and seeing maybe if you'd be eligible to apply for. What's really great about the school and the programs is that you don't have to have studied business for a lot of the programs at the school. So if you look at our marketing programs, if you haven't studied business in your undergrad degree, you can still apply for those programs. So this is a really good starting point. And I know in admissions, we get asked a lot of times, I haven't studied business, am I eligible to apply? And the answer is yes. So as you can see on the screen here, there are a lot of programs that if you haven't studied business before, you could be eligible to apply for. So this is a really good starting point. In terms of when you're looking at a master's and when you're picking a master's, it's really important to research the master program itself. So looking at what you're going to study, the knowledge that you're going to get from the program. So we always recommend either talking to a current student or an alumni So if you want to talk to a current student on our website, there is a function called Ask a Student, and you can ask a question directly to a current student that's on the program. So it's really important, that you research your program and that you understand what you're going to learn. Another way of researching your program is visiting our website. And under each of the MSc programs, it goes in depth into what you're going to study. So the modules you're going to take. It also goes into like how it's assessed. So whether it's a group project, whether it's an individual assignment, whether there's an exam as well. So the website is fantastic in terms of getting as much knowledge as you can about the program and the modules that you'll study, and then the learning outcomes from each of the modules as well. And then the second part to look at is also the career opportunities. So again, on our website, it lists the types of career roles that you will get from each of the master programs. And then it also lists some of our alumni and where they're working now and their job titles too. And also LinkedIn is a very good resource that you can use as well to look at our alumni, where they're working now and the types of careers that they are working into and job roles too. So when you're looking at a master's, you're looking at what you're going to study, what knowledge you're going to get from the master program, and then looking at what kind of careers, job roles you're going to get as well. And by doing that, you'll get a better sense of what masters will be best fit for you and which masters is kind of your best for your interests too. So when you're looking at a master's, we always recommend, research the master's and look at the job opportunities and career opportunities as well. And this is just a really good starting point. It's available on our website under the eligibility section as well. And it just is a good starting point just to have a look at what kind of masters we offer at the school. So the application process, so when you have decided what masters you'd like to apply for, then you apply directly to the school through the UCD Michael Smurfit website. So the first step is make sure that you've researched your program and you know that it's the right program for you, and then make your application. And when you make your application online, we do need some documents. So the first one would be your official academic transcripts. So what these are is we need to see the subjects, the modules that you've studied. So the name of the module plus the result that you've gotten as well. So really important that we can see your academic transcripts. And then if you're in final year, you mightn't have all your academic transcripts. So if you only have first and second year, what you do is you just submit them. Also, sometimes if you're applying maybe for one of our finance programs, you might want to list the modules that you're taking in final year as well. And, if they're relevant to the program as well. So sometimes people include the modules that they're going to study in their final year, even though they don't have the grades just yet. And we also, if you do require an English language test, now you can apply without your English language test. So on your application, you can put down the date that you might be taking the test, or what happens is we can give conditional offers on taking the English language test. And we also will give you a date that you need to submit it by. And then the final part is a CV. So we like to see just an up-to-date CV and any relevant, if you have any work experience or anything relevant to the program as well. The next step then is completing the essay questions. So there's 2 essay questions. So the first one is your motivation for the program, why you're applying to the business school, why you're choosing this program. And then the second one is, what kind of career opportunities, what's your goal after studying the MSc. So again, if you do all your research at the start, these questions you'll be able to answer throughout your application. And then finally, you submit the application online. There is an application fee of €50, but it does allow you to apply for more than one program if you wish. And then you submit your application and it goes to our admissions team. So just to note, with the application assessment, it is taking a little longer than we normally would at the moment. So it does say 2 to 3 weeks on applications, but it is taking longer than that. So we just have received a high volume of applications already. So if you are thinking of applying, I would definitely recommend trying to apply as soon as you can. So for this year, our applications opened the 1st of October. We have been open for applications for the last 3 months. And so I suppose in terms of the application assessment, you can log in at any time onto your application and check for updates. And we also send you an email as well when we update your application too. If you are questions throughout the application process or when you're submitting your application, you can contact the admissions team directly. So our email is smurfit.admissions at ucd.ie, and we'll be able to advise you. And then just in regards to scholarships, so there are a lot of scholarships available at the school. So we have academic, financial based scholarships, and then we also have scholarships for some of the programs too. So all the scholarships are listed on the Smurfit School website. So it's smurfitschool.ie, and then you can go to the scholarship page there. And it's really comprehensive. It lists all the scholarships, the opening, closing dates, all the information that you need to apply for them. A lot of the scholarships, though, when you apply for an MSc, you're just automatically considered for a range of scholarships at the school. There's only 2 at the school that you need to make a separate application for, so I'm going to talk through that now. So the first one, just to highlight, is our merit-based scholarship. So just to let everyone know, you don't need to apply for this one. So this one, when you apply to the school, you're automatically considered. Now, they are academic-based ones, so they're based on your final results. So we would need to see your final results before we could issue the scholarship, and they tend to be issued in the summertime. And the second one is the Aspire Scholarship. That's opening next week for applications on the 7th of February. So this scholarship is based both on financial and academic-based. And so when you apply for the MSc, you'll then get a notification that you can apply for this scholarship as well. So that scholarship, you do need to make an application. So it opens the 7th of February and it closes in May. And then there's another scholarship, if you are thinking of applying for, you do need to make a separate scholarship application, and that's our sports scholarships, and they'll open in the summertime. And then just the final one, just to note as well, so if you've studied in UCD your complete undergrad degree, you are entitled to an alumni discount of 5% of your tuition reduction. So you don't need to apply for this. It's automatically taken off your fees when you're issued an offer from the school. And again, there is a lot more scholarships, and these are just a couple that we've mentioned today. But if you want to learn more about any of the scholarships at the school, you can go directly to the website, and they're all listed there. And now just before our live kind of question and answers, so if you do have any question and answers, you can ask them in the Q&A part of Zoom. But we're just going to go through some of the questions that we get asked in admission. So the first one is, can I apply for more than one course? So to answer that is yes. So when you pay your application fee, you can apply for more than one program. So for example, you might be looking at the marketing programs and you want to apply for marketing practice and digital marketing. So when you submit both applications, you can also preference which is your first preference. So to answer the first question, yes, you can apply for more than one program. When should you apply? So our applications opened the 1st of October. So we're taking applications at the moment. Closing date, as per se, it's done on a rolling basis. So if you are thinking of applying, we always say to try and apply as early as you can. And it has much more benefits as well applying early, because you hear back from the admissions team if you're looking for accommodation or anything like that as well. Like, applying early means just that I suppose it's kind of more beneficial for you as well in terms of your planning and like hearing back from the admissions team as well. The scholarships, so there are scholarships available at the school. There are academic scholarships and there's financial based scholarships as well. And what we'd recommend is having a look at our website. It's very comprehensive. And then if you have any questions about any of the scholarships, you can contact the admissions team. Accepting your place. So if you're given either a full offer or conditional offer from the school, we send you an email with a list of the steps to accept your place. And so basically what you have to do is you have to pay your deposit within a specific time frame. So how you pay your deposit is that you log back into the account and it'll tell you exactly what to do. So the deposit ranges from 500 to €1,000, depending on the MSc that you've applied for. And if you want to speak to a current student, so I did mention this, we do have Ask a Student on our website. So our MSc programs, if there's a question that you have specific to a program, you can contact a current student there. In terms of the application closing date, so there's no closing date. It's done on a rolling basis. So we opened the 1st of October 2021. So we're still taking applications at the moment. And really just the best advice we could give is if you're thinking of applying, I would definitely apply sooner rather than later. Just in terms of the documentations then that you need for your application. So for the MSc applications, we do require official academic transcripts. If you do have your English test and a CV, if you are applying for our international management program, you do require 2 references for that program. So we tend to ask for an academic and a professional reference, and they're written references. So that would be the only MSc program that we would look for references. If you're looking at our MBA program as well, you would need to submit references for that program too. The entry requirements then, so each program has specific entry requirements. So what I would recommend doing is going straight to the website, go to the program, and it lists the entry criteria there. So undergrad degree, and then your final result as well. And then checking the status of the application. So how you do that is you log into the UCD account and you can check your application status there. And we update your status as it goes through the application process. And you also get an email that will let you know as well when your application has been updated. And then applying for the 2022 program. So we are taking applications for 2022. So we have 1 intake every year in September. So we're currently taking applications. If you're looking at 2023, you would need to wait until the 1st of October this year to apply for next year. So there's only 1 intake of the MSc programs every year. So we're taking applications for September 2022 at the moment. And then just finally, before we go to the Q&A, if you're interested in any of our MBA programs, so we have 3 MBA programs, our full-time exec and modular MBA. So this is for students that would have work experience. So we do ask for a minimum of 3 years work experience for these programs. So if this is something that you're interested in the MBA, we will be holding a virtual event in 2 weeks' time on the 17th of February. It's from 7 to 8:30, and it is a virtual event. And so if you'd like to register for that, we are open to registrations at the moment. So you go to the Smurfit School website under events and you can register for our MBA event there. And just in terms of information and emails, so if you do need to contact the admissions team, our email is smurfit.admissions@ucd.ie. So you can ask us any questions there about the programs, about admissions, scholarships, and then to find all of the information about the MSc programs, our website is smurfitschool.ie. And now I'm just going to hand over to Richard, just if there's any questions.
Thanks, Laura. Yeah, there's just a few questions coming in. I think most people have probably found our open day very useful and have no questions. So I've been answering some just there. Hopefully you've got some of my replies, but what I'll do is I might just recap for some maybe who haven't seen your questions. So there's just one, I think it's come from Aina. It was just asked, is there a way to look back on today's webinars? Correct me if I'm wrong, Laura, but I believe anyone who's registered for this and received this link will also get an email to say these, with a link to look back on these webinars, or sorry, these recordings. Isn't that right?
Yes, so all our recordings will be available on YouTube after in a couple of days after the event. So yeah, they'll all be available. We also have admissions webinars and webinars on all our MSc programs available now on our website too, that you can
yeah. And also you can check on our YouTube channel. I think pretty much all these are hosted there, and then just kind of connected back to our website. So if you go to YouTube and Smurfit Business School, you should see them all there. There is a question from Mohammed. I've just been chatting to you separately there, Mohammed, about that, and privately. It's quite a personal question to you maybe, so I don't want to get into it too much on this particular thing. It would suffice to say, you could, as I mentioned, look at some agents and applying for through agents, even agents that are not necessarily in your country. I know you mentioned you're from Afghanistan, but you did your degree in India. So there's many Indian agents that we have, and they, as far as I'm aware, will put through applications from other countries in the sort of neighboring region. So that could be a possibility, Mohammed. So do look into that. And I've already talked to you about the English stuff as well. Just as a reminder, just for anyone else who's watching, our English language requirements are all available on our website, and they're quite complicated. So it's not so simple as to say yes and no, but a question that Mohammed and many others have is that if you have, say, taken your degree through English, in a non-English speaking country. So let's say, for example, the Netherlands, where everyone speaks English probably better than I do, but unfortunately it's not an English speaking country, because obviously you speak Dutch, so it's not on our list. And therefore, even if you did 4 years of a degree all through English and your English is excellent, the UCD policy, unfortunately, would be that you still have to take an English language test. Of this is detailed up on our admissions part of our website under English language requirements. So do check those out. To be honest, Laura, there's not many other questions kind of coming in. I think we've answered a lot of our frequently asked questions. That's kind of really it. So I would say to anyone who's watching right now to put in your questions into the question box. There is one other one, which again is a personal sort of question, just in relation to SEM's Masters of Management. And just a quick answer to that is no. Is it Yogda? You would need a high level. You would need to take an English language test, or the language that you're referring to is, if it's the second or third language for SEMS, it has to be at a higher level, a separate test. So again, email us at Smurfit admissions and we can talk to you separately about that one. Laura, you've been on the Open Day All Day today. Is there any other questions that maybe you've seen today that might be useful for anyone watching now?
Yeah, I think I saw a question there as well about, do you need work experience for an MS program? So no, you don't. So a lot of students come straight from their undergrad degree. However, we have seen, especially in the past few years, people that, maybe want to change career, who've maybe worked for a couple of years and then have come back to study a master's. So the master's, there's no criteria that you have to have work experience. And so to answer I suppose, do you need work experience? No, you don't. So I suppose it really is dependent on if you want to come straight from college, or sometimes people get some work experience. For our MBA program, however, that's slightly different. You do need work experience. So they do require a minimum of 3 years for that to be eligible to apply. So MSc, you don't need work experience. I know we were getting a lot of questions about references as well. So references are only applicable to our SEMS, so our International Management Program, and the MBA as well. And in terms of what references you need, they're written references. And we tend to look for academic and also maybe professional reference too. MBA again is slightly different. So you need to contact the admissions team there and they'll be able to give you the templates that you need for that application. But in terms of MSc, in terms of references, it's just our SEMS program. And again, the admissions team will always get back to you if we do need anything else or any additional information as well. So I know some people think that they need references, but not for MSCs.
That's right. And actually, there was a question from Diana about that one. So yeah, I think the 3-year experience thing is you might have seen that maybe on our website or heard today, but that is just in relation to the MBA program. That's a minimum of 3 years. But most of our students, I think approximately about easily 2/3, Laura, would that be right, will come direct from university, and whether that might be in Ireland or abroad. So they are kind of known as pre-experienced masters. But again, as Laura mentioned, there's a lot of career changers too, who might be in their late 20s or early 30s, who'd be coming into, say, the HRM program or digital innovation, and I'm looking at trying to change careers. So it's great because it is open to pretty much everybody, and we have quite I think it's fair to say, a holistic admissions process where we do look at people from all backgrounds. So I think a question that I just had in our last webinar as well was just in relation to is it difficult to get into Smurfit? And it's a sort of difficult question to answer, because it depends on sort of, what you're benchmarking yourself against in your own country, or what, your experience is. The short answer is, look, we're a top business school, one of the world's top business schools. And for example, our SEMS Masters in Management program is ranked 3rd in the world by Financial Times. So, it's an extremely prestigious school, and our MBA and all our other programs are usually in the top 100 as well. So it's a prestigious business school. The short answer is yes. It is probably a little bit more difficult to get into, certainly, than maybe your local or other business school. But don't be put off by that. And I think one of the best things, and certainly my advice to you, and I'm sure Laura can come in on this too, is that engage with us. I think we're quite an easy to access admissions team. We have plenty of channels, whether through our email, through events like this. You could talk to our current student ambassadors on our website, as Laura already mentioned. There's lots of different ways where you can find out, look, if you feel that you could be eligible. And again, as I mentioned, we have quite a holistic process. So like, we don't just necessarily look at grades. We try to look at everything from essays to work experience, if you have some, to, you know, references. We do interviews for certain programs. So look, there's a degree of flexibility there. So definitely, I would encourage you to make an application in the first place, and then that opens the door to having a conversation. So I hope that's been somewhat helpful. Laura, there's really nothing else coming in, so I might be a good idea just to close it off and just remind to anyone, if we haven't got to your question for some reason, or we missed it, or you have more questions, just to email us at smurfit.admissions@ucd.e. We'd be very happy to get back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. Yes, exactly. So if there is any other questions that you have, or if you're applying and you think, you know, you need a bit of advice on your application, just submit an email to smurfit.admissions@ucd.e and we'll get back to you. So just want to say thank you to Richard for joining the webinar today, and thank you to everybody as well. And we look forward to seeing your applications. Thank you.